Okay, so the purpose of this video is to be a source of data to observe temperature as a function of time in an introductory precalculus or calculus class. This function may be used to study the rate of change in the temperature. In this particular video, I'm looking at half a liter of filtered water. I measured it to have 0 parts per million of total dissolved solids. The ambient temperature at the time was 60.7 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was heated until it reached a temperature of 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Bear in mind that the water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, and what you'll notice is that there's some carryover. It continues to heat even after the electricity is shut off, and then I just allowed it to cool for about 5 minutes to observe the rate at which the water cooled. So what I want to demonstrate is how to, with this video, but really with any video, how to extract a function of time. So videos are functions of time. And so when you are watching a YouTube video, you can see how the time signature is shown at the bottom. And what I want to do is I want to record the correspondence between time in seconds and its correspondence to temperature. And for the purposes of this example, it'll be very rough. I'm going to go ahead and just make 2 columns. One will be my time column, and the other will be my temperature column. And so to demonstrate that, I'm going to start the video. And as you can see, there's a moment will come when you'll hear a click, and that's when time is going to begin. And there it is. So I want to go back and get right to when that click occurred. And I'm using a left arrow to advance. And when I hear that click, I'm going to press the space bar to pause. There it is. So at the bottom of the screen, you can see that after 14 seconds, the temperature is 60.7. And I'm just going to do a very rough table, but what I want to do now is, if you press the right arrow on my keyboard, it's going to advance by 5 seconds. So you see how the time signature has now advanced to 19 seconds. And I'm going to go ahead and go for, let's go for like about, how about once every 20 seconds. So I'm at 34 seconds, and the temperature is 60.8. So I'm going to press the right arrow 4 times. Now I'm at 54 seconds, and the temperature looks like 73.5. And after 1 minute and 14 seconds, also known as 74 seconds, we have a temperature of 89.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Oops, I think I pressed the wrong button. 1, 2, 3, 4. And after 1 minute and 34 seconds, also known as 60 plus 34, we have a temperature of 106.3 degrees. And then 2, 3, 4. After 1 minute and 54 seconds, also known as 114. Is that right? Yeah. Then we have 119.5. And after 2 minutes and 14 seconds, we have a temperature of let me think about that. 60, 120 plus 14, so 134 seconds. We have a temperature of 133.7. I'll stop right there, and we can use these now to look at the rate at which the temperature changed. So for example, as I look at just the time beginning at 14 seconds, this is when time began, we had a temperature of 60.7, and over the course of 34 seconds, it ended up at 60.8. And I can subtract those to see that it went up by 0.1 degrees. And how long did it take for that to happen? It took 20 seconds. Where did the 20 come from? It was 34 minus 14. And so, similarly, I can look at the next interval of time, which is another 20 seconds. And over that interval of time, it ended up at 73.5 degrees, starting at 60.8. And again, that's 54 minus 34. And I can compute these numbers to see how much it changed. And I'll do one more example. We'll pull out a computer in a second here. But going from 50 to 74, we ended up at 89.8 minus 73.5. And again, that was over the interval ending at 74, starting at 54 seconds. And so, as I look at these numbers, we'll calculate a few numbers. And I can see that 60.8 minus 60.7, I guess I could have done that in my head. And then that's going to be 34 minus 14. I also could have done that in my head, I suppose. But now I can see that this was about, over this first 20 seconds, the temperature was increasing at a rate of 0.005 degrees per second on average. Similarly, if I take 73.5 minus 60.8, and that's also taking place over the course of 54 minus 34 seconds, I can see that now the temperature was increasing on average at 0.635 degrees per second. And as my final example, when I take 89.8 minus 73.5 divided by 74.54, now the temperature is increasing on average at a rate of 0.815 degrees per second. And by creating a function, I can now use that function to calculate the average rate at which the temperature is changing. So this is an introduction to how to extract functions from videos, and we'll do some similar exercises with other videos. You can even pick your own video and then looking at the time signatures, extract a function, and from the function extract and make observations about how the rate is changing.